Welcome back to the Force9's YouTube channel. Welcome back to an Andalusian adventure with Sevilla on Football Manager 2017. And today's a big game in our Champions League group. It's a home game against Tottenham. And beating Spurs means we'll more or less win the group. So yeah, a win please. Also today we have a La Liga game away against Real Oviedo. But before those two, I played two games off screen. Let's have a look at the goals. Juanmi standing over the ball for the free kick, and it's in! 19 minutes played, Juanmi's free kick gives Sevilla the lead. Steven Nzonzi plays it long to Pozzo, and Pozzo, it's a save by Gaeta, and Juanmi's at the far post with a rebound, 37 minutes played. It's 2-0, and it's 2 for Juanmi. Diego Gonzalez to Nzonzi. Here is Iheanacho. And he's put through Juanmi, who's on a hat-trick and completes his hat-trick. 75 minutes played. It's 3-0. All three goals coming from Juanmi. What a performance. Full time, Sevilla 3, Getafe 0. The Juanmi show. Here is Edgar for Alaves. He's taking it past Radu. And here's Diverson, and it's saved at the post by Rico. Good save. Vasquez takes the corner. And it is headed away, but there's been a penalty awarded. There was a foul on Nzonzi, I think. 88 minutes played, it's still 0-0. Vasquez with the penalty, and it's saved by Pacheco, and it stays 0-0. That's full time. Alaves 0, Sevilla 0. Disappointing draw. So good win against Getafe. That was very much the Juanmi show. 3 goals there. Alaves, it was just disappointing. You know, penalty saved right at the end. We had 8 shots on target, we had possession, but we just couldn't score a goal. Iheanacho has been poor for a while. He hasn't scored in 8 games. It's disappointing. So, yeah, I need to see something from our strikers. Even Vieto's not performing well either. So, once again, our strikers are misfiring, and it's happening all too often. So, let's have a look at our tables then. So, in La Liga, we are still undefeated, yet to lose in La Liga. 9 wins and 4 draws, 31 points. We are 1 ahead of Barcelona. And we're 7 clear of Atletico, so at the moment it's very much a 2-horse race, but there's plenty of games left. In the Champions League, we are on 9 points, as well as Spurs. Spurs with a better head-to-head though, so they are first at the moment. But we face them today in a home game, so we really need to win. Copenhagen will face Basel, so, you know, we could still end up going out. If Copenhagen beat Basel and we lose to Tottenham, it'll be down to the final day. And if we don't beat Copenhagen, we'll be out. So, yeah, this is a huge game in the Champions League. And we're going to jump right into it. So, there are going to be some changes made. Pozzo's going to come off. We are going to start Walter Montoya. And Zonzi's kind of tired, so we'll put him onto the bench and bring on Proper. We're going to give Iheanacho 1 chance. If he doesn't score, he's not playing the Oviedo game. We'll start Vieto. That's what's going to happen there. I don't think anything else needs to change. Roque Mesa is still injured, but he'll be back in about 3 days. So, he may play the Oviedo game, but that'll be touch and go. Carrizo is still injured. He'll be back in a few weeks' time from his knee tendonitis. So for the time being, Gonzalez and Rami are in defence. We have Duarte on the bench. Durara is available. We're going to put him on the bench as well, just so we have some defensive options. If Iborra gets injured, Gonzalez will move forward and we'll bring one of the 2 centre-backs in there. But yeah, that's the team we're going to go with. It's a home game against Spurs. It's going to be tough, but let's see what we can do. Okay, so Spurs team, they've got Hugo Lloris in goal. Back 4 is Rose Vertonghen, Alderweireld and Matteo Darmian. Dembele and Eric Dyer in midfield, Eriksen and Lamela and Bruma and Harry Kane. So Bruma and Darmian, the only new faces there. Bruma's a good player on this game, actually. I've used him in an off YouTube save, a personal save. On the bench, Vorm, Ben Davies, Sobi, who scored against us in the reverse fixture, Sandro, Son, Wimmer and Harry Winks. Just quickly, these are our instructions. We're going to work the ball into the box. That's the only thing we're going to change there. But otherwise, it's the usual tactic we go with. But let's see how we do. Spurs have a free kick here. It's headed away by Montoya, but only as far as Bruma. Bruma to Dembele. Out wide to Eric Lamela. With a cross, and Kane hits it onto the bar. And now we need to get rid of the danger. Here's Juanmi. Plays it long to Iheanacho, who's cutting inside. He's been dispossessed by Vertonghen, though. Spurs with a chance already, but Kane could only hit the crossbar with his header. They're playing very quick at the moment. I think we need to try and slow them down here. Lamela. Get it rid. Eriksen scores. That's not the greatest start to the game. 19 minutes played. And we are trailing 1-0. Spurs are a tough team to beat. I don't know how they've been doing in the Premier League. But they're in the Champions League. So they must be doing something right. And then it was Ericsson with the finish. Wasn't really marked at all, was he? So, a bit disappointing on our part, but Spurs seem to be a good team and they seem to be difficult to beat. They've got more of the ball at the moment. I'm going to hit them on the counter-attack, I think. We're going to go in a half-time 1-0 down. That's not good. Show me something else in the second half, I'm going to say. I've gone cautious. Juanmi's looking a bit stressed. Not playing too well so far. Vazquez also not really done much. Okay, right. We're going to go for early crosses. Now, they're playing a lot through the middle. So, let's try and attack them on the flanks. Let's put the tempo back to normal. I'm going to get stuck in. Take off the discipline. Spurs on 12 points as it stands. Basel are beating Copenhagen at the moment, so they'll be on 3. But, if Copenhagen do end up winning that game, then that could be trouble for us. We could end up in 3rd. And then we still got to face them. So, it's not all over yet. I thought we were doing well in this group, but Spurs are really hurting us at the moment. And we're having a bit more of the ball, but we're not creating enough. I'm going to attack. Vazquez is going to come off. We're going to put Proper a bit further up. We're going to bring on Nzonzi. I'm also going to bring on Vitolo for Juanmi. I'm going to change Inacho to a complete forward. Not scored it yet today. I don't think he's had a lot of the ball, really. We've only had 4 shots in total. But this happened last time, that they were 1-0 up for a while, and they got a second towards the end of the game as we were looking for an equaliser. And now we've conceded a penalty. Montoya with a push on Ericsson. And also in the last game, Rico saved 2 penalties from Spurs, and we lost 2-0. But it could have been a lot more if had it not been for Sergio Rico. And Sandro with a penalty here. And he does score. It's 2-0, 75 minutes. And Spurs are just outplaying us over both games here. And it's not good. Sandro's penalty, very calm. Okay, I know goalkeepers are broken on this game. But Rico literally had his hands on his hips during that penalty. And still dived. There's 5 minutes left. We're still 2-0 down. What can we do here? Montoya conceded the penalty. Kelechi, just go away, please. I thought that was a good loan signing. He scored 5 in 5 at the start, I think, or something like that. But he hasn't scored now in 9 games, and that's not good enough. Raji's won the ball there. I mean, we're leaving this a bit late here if we are going to try and score. There's less than 5 minutes left, and then just injury time. Sandro's through and goal here again. This could be 3-0. It is 3-0. We're doing worse than we did at White Hart Lane. Or sorry, New White Hart Lane. It's a new stadium. But we're 3-0 down now. We went attacking, we went for goals, and they punished us. So, back to standard. Damage limitation now. There's no point trying to come back. But this is a really disappointing one. And Alvitolo's picked up a knock. That's not what we wanted. Rico catches the ball there. 30 seconds left. I mean, consolation, I guess. Come on. Let's at least try and do something. Nope, full time. Sevilla 0, Spurs 3. Very disappointing. And Copenhagen, in the end, did manage to get a draw. So if we lose to Copenhagen on the last match day, we're out of the Champions League. That's not good. I mean, we should never be in that position. Vitolo, he's got a calf injury. That's not good. We'll leave it to the physio. He's going to miss a couple of weeks, which is never good. Okay, Liverpool's Champions League record's been broken. PSG won a game 9-0 against Victoria, with 7 different scorers, no less, and a hat-trick for Kevin De Bruyne, who they signed for £100 million. But the real news there is that PSG have broken Liverpool's 8-0 record over Besiktas. They beat Victoria 9-0. Next game is against Real Oviedo, who are bottom of La Liga, so that's a game we really should be winning. Oviedo, of course, they have a bit of a cult following. There's a few sort of people on YouTube and a few people in the FIFA and FM scene that have shares in the club from when they almost went bankrupt a while ago. So they've got a bit of a cult following. So yeah, this should be a fun game. Hopefully we'll win. They're the bottom club, so to not win this would be disappointing, but not exactly in good form at the moment, and we're not scoring a great deal of goals. Well, Juanmi scored 3 against Getafe, but since then we've failed to score. I'm actually, the Copenhagen games after this one, so I'm going to play 3 games today. Because that Copenhagen game has suddenly become huge. Because if we lose that, it's in Denmark as well. If we lose that, we're out of the Champions League. Yeah, we're playing 3 games today. Okay, so away game against Real Oviedo. Inacho is not playing. He's dropped. Vieto is going to start up top. We'll play him as the poacher. Okay, we're going to leave Ibora in there. Mesa can come to the bench. Vitalo needs to come out of the team. Let's put Ilicic on the bench. So we're going to start Ilicic in place of Vazquez. We're going to start Duarte instead of Pozzo. I want to save some of these guys for the other game. Right, that's the team we're going to go with. Let's send that. We should be winning this no problem. It's Real Oviedo. They're bottom. They've only won 2 games. So have a look at their team. Ferreira, Ruiz, Villa, Dos Santos, Fernandez, Erise, Hilsager, Michu, Bikel, Diego, Kike. Only player here that I recognise is Michu. 32 years old. Of course, he ended up in like a 3rd division team, Langreo, after, well, one good season at Swansea and then barely played after that. And then he's now at Real Oviedo and he's in La Liga, so it's gone well for him. I'm going to assertively say, let's show the world what this team is all about. That's a good team talk. They're really confident, I think, hopefully. Again, we're going to try working the ball into the box, start the match. I want to see some goals here today because we haven't scored in 2 games. We have a corner in the 4th minute here, and it's a goal. Adil Rami has scored. Only 4 minutes played. That's what I want to see. A goal right on the off. Right from the off. Montoya with the corner. Literally just 4 minutes played here. And then Adil Rami at the near post with a header. It might have taken a deflection off Mauro as well. Going to control the game. Plenty of possession at the moment. I mean, double our lead before half time. That would be good. We've got a goal kick here. Rico hits it forwards. Here's Iborra to Ilicic. Plays it out wide to Juanmi. Going to play a lot more now with Vitolo out. Goes for the shot. It was alright. Okay, half time. We're winning 1-0. Oviedo not really been in the game. So far so good. I think we can do better though. Vieto again. I'm not seeing enough from our strikers again. Right, Vieto's complete forward. I don't know what's happening with our strikers at the moment. I don't know what's going on. He's on a 6.4. I might end up having to bring Carlos Fernandez back into the fold, whose potential is completely dropped, by the way. He's like 2.5-star player now. But if our strikers aren't performing, maybe it's time to bring him in again as the target man. Because it worked last season. Scored a few goals. But again, our strikers just aren't scoring goals. We've had 11 shots today. Only 1 of them have gone in. And that was a defender. Proper to Radu. Here is Ilicic. Now Juanmi. Now plays through Vieto. Vieto's 1-on-1. You've got to score. That's what I want from a striker. 67th minute. We're 2-0 up. Let's kick on and score some more goals. Come on. Let's improve this goal difference. It's not too bad. It's not Barcelona level, but it's still okay. But let's try and score some more goals. Michu is off the pitch. Got a highlight straight from kickoff here. We'll see if this comes to anything. Still the same highlight here. It's actually Oviedo on the ball. And Alemão, just drags it wide. Good chance for Oviedo to score there, though. It's actually a corner. I didn't realise that anyone got a hand to it. And the corner's caught easily by Rico. Proper's a bit tired out there. We're going to take him off. We're going to bring on Mesa. I don't want to play in Nzonzi. I want to rest him for the Copenhagen game. I'm also going to bring on Gonzalez for Iborra. 79 minutes rather. 2-0 up. You know, it's been a comfortable performance. We've not done anything wrong, so that's fine. It's one more change. Pozzo, one for Montoya. Go defensive. Only seconds left. Free kick is straight at the goalkeeper. And whistle will be about to be blown. As for time, Real Oviedo 0, Sevilla 2. It was a comfortable performance. Didn't do anything wrong there. That's alright. 10th win of the season. Still undefeated in La Liga. We're doing well. We've got to avoid defeat against Copenhagen. I don't want to go out in the group stage. That's not improvement. That's doing worse than we have done in the previous 2 seasons. With what I thought was an easier group. Losing twice to Spurs has really damaged our chances of going through. Okay, suddenly this game against Copenhagen has become huge. Avoid defeat, we'll be through. But if we lose, we're out. Very simple. Just don't lose. Now the team is kind of tired. Our next game, though, is not until the Sunday against Celta Vigo, so I don't feel like I need to make that many changes. We're going to start Nzonzi in place of Proper. We're going to put Duarte back to the bench, bring on Diego Gonzalez. And we're going to bring Vazquez back in for Ilicic. That's the 3 changes I'm going to make. Vitolo's still out. Mesa is back to full fitness pretty much. He's on the bench. And yeah, that will be it. So not a lot of changes really, only 3. So we faced Copenhagen in the previous episodes. Still got Negredo up top. No William Crislo. I think he was injured, it says. So yeah, they have Atsu again as well. This is a big match for us and even bigger for supporters to give them a good performance. Okay, no green in the team talk. Let's try and change that. Okay, right. Very simple. Don't lose. Copenhagen I've underestimated. They managed to beat Tottenham. They won and drew against Basel. Montoya's got an injury. That's not good. Got more possession so far. Just had a couple of shots. Going to control the game. Montoya's got a wrist injury. That's not going to affect his running at all. We'll leave that as it is. It's only a sprained wrist. He's fine. Vasquez with the ball here. Stefan Radu with a cross. It's cleared by Dumic. Diego Gonzalez to Nzonzi. Radu. Back to Gonzalez. Now Nzonzi. Gonzalez. Good passing here. Ibora's got plenty of space in front of him. Vasquez to Vieto. Vieto score! Oh, just wide. Just wide. Vieto's on a 6.3. Why? Why? I don't get it. No shots on target yet in this game. On one hand, it's bad because we aren't scoring, but on the other hand, Copenhagen aren't scoring either, and if they can't score, they can't beat us. Right, we're going to go passionate, and we're going to say the same thing we said at the start, even though there was no green. But there's a lot more to come from these guys. Vieto, I want some performance, please. Otherwise, Inacho's going to come on. Maybe he's better off the bench, Kelechi. He scored 2 off the bench against Madrid in the Supercopa. Maybe that's the way to play him, just off the bench. Maybe he's an impact sub. Okay, Ibora now is asking he be taken off. He's got a groin strain. Okay, right, he needs to come off, I think. But we've got the ball here. Radu. Juanmi. Vieto's there with a close range finish. Is he onside? He's onside. It's 1-0. Right, Ibora needs to come off. Luckily, we just have Messer back. So we're going to bring him on. Play him as box to box. Good goal there. 47 minutes played. It was Juanmi with the cross, and Vieto was onside. And, well, from 3 yards. If he'd have missed that, then it would have been immediately substituted. Coming up to the hour mark. Spurs 2-0 up against Basel. We've won a penalty now. Thompson with a foul, I think, on Rami. And he's going to get a second yellow here, I think. He is. He's been sent off. So now Copenhagen down to 10 men. Franco Vasquez on the penalty. Now, his last one was saved against Alaves. Hopefully he can score this one. Otherwise, I'll need to think about who's taking my penalties. Usually it's Vitolo, but Vasquez is taking him because Vitolo's injured. And he scored it, so that's fine. We're 2-0 up. And, yeah, it looks like we're going through. But not as convincing as I would have hoped. And the Vasquez with a penalty. Bottom corner. Calm. And we're 2-0 up. I think we can afford to rest players now. Montoya, he's done another injury now. I think it said sprained something. Or is it the same one? I didn't see. We're going to bring on Pozzo in his place. We're 2-0 up now. I mean, unless we concede 3 in the last half hour, we're going through. So I think we can rest players now. Only a few minutes left. I can make one more change. Right, let's give Kelechi a few minutes. See what he can do. Gregus on the ball. Here is Kusk. And Nielsen hits the post and it's cleared by Rami. Best chance Copenhagen have had all game. Just 3 minutes of injury time now. Spurs 4-0 up over Basel. I mean, they've had a really good campaign. Only game they lost was against Copenhagen. Otherwise, they've been really, really good. And full time here, Copenhagen 0, Sevilla 2. That's a good win. And we've qualified for the last 16. I was a bit worried. Because, you know, if we'd have lost that game, we would have been out. But in the end, 12 points, 4 wins and 2 defeats. It's a good campaign, but I say Spurs really did give us a fright for a second when they beat us twice. Because they could have sent us out. Ibora actually ended up with a groin strain. So he's going to miss a couple of weeks. Good timing because Messer's back, but I'd rather he not get injured at all. Montoya with a sprained wrist, he could play through that with a cast. That's fine. And we're qualified for the last 16, but it does mean, theoretically, we'll have a tougher team in the last 16. Okay, we won't find out for a little while when the draw is. There's a couple of games until that does actually get found out. Celta, Vigo, the Copa del Rey games against Astorga, and then Villarreal. So we won't find out for another like 10-11 days who we get. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to go through any more games. So I'm going to leave it there. Let's have a look at what's coming up then. I know we've got the Copa del Rey games, but any big games coming up? Okay, so we do have Barcelona coming up at Camp Nou, which should be an interesting game. And we'll probably play the next episode. I think there'll be a Copa del Rey game in here as well. We're going to beat Astorga. If we don't beat them, then there's serious problems because they're a 3rd division team. So I think next episode we will go to Camp Nou and we'll face Barcelona. And then at the moment it's Rayo Vallecano, but we'll see who it is. But that's going to do it for today. 3 games today. Bit of a longer video than I was expecting to do, but we had some important games to play. So yeah, 3 games. Hopefully you enjoyed them. If you did, leave a like down below. Leave in the comments. If you want to see videos as and when they turn up on YouTube, hit subscribe. I'll see you next episode, where I think we're going to be playing Barcelona. So that's a big game. They're only a point behind us, I think. So that's important. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.